Welcome back, everybody. We're here to pull cards for May the 8th. I am going to be pulling one card for overall energy. After that, I'll pull one card for each sign, and we'll just see how things play out when we look at the blend of energies as we go through the zodiac. It is beneficial, of course, to look at your sun sign, but also if you know your moon sign and your rising, checking those as well is going to give you a more full picture of the things that may be transpiring during the day. Of course, this is a general reading, so not everything I see is going to apply to every single person. However, should apply to most of us. All right, so what we have showing up first is the Six of Wands in reverse for our overall energy. So, Six of Wands in reverse just tells us that there's something going on where we're feeling unappreciated. Now, this can come up as maybe we're working for somebody who is not paying us what we're actually worth, considering what we're doing for them. Or this could be, somebody that is in our lives, a spouse or significant other, or family member who doesn't appreciate what we bring to the table or what we're doing, but something going on where we're feeling unappreciated. So let's see how this plays out for everybody. Starting, of course, with Aries. Excuse me. Okay, Aries. Yep. Okay. What you guys have is the Page of Cups coming up in reverse. You may be letting somebody know today how you feel about them. And I think you may be a little bit surprised to uh, realize that they're not letting you know that that's a reciprocal thing. And Aries, I feel like they're not letting you know that that's a reciprocal thing just because they're distracted today. They've got something going on that has them that is taking their focus away to where they're not even realizing that they are missing a cue there, shall we say. Let's look at Taurus. Excuse me. Taurus, you got your own card. Hierophant showing up here today. This just says there's some kind of contract, agreement, long-term type of contract or agreement that you're not being appreciated in right now. So this could be somebody that you have worked for a long time. This can be um this could even be for some of you Koreans, this could be something like where you sent in a mortgage payment and the mortgage company didn't receive it. And so they're not appreciating that you sent in a payment. It could be something along those lines, just as much as a person not appreciating you that's a part of a long term contract or agreement with you, or a company or an employer. So somebody that you're involved with a long-term contract or agreement with, I would consider a mortgage or a car loan, something like that. Um, of course, also a marriage. Yeah, there's lots of different ways that that can manifest, but long-term contract or agreement that you're not feeling so appreciated in one way or the other. Boop ba da doo doo, Gemini. Okay, you guys have the Two of Swords showing up in reverse. And this is the bat side of the Two of Swords, which tells me that there's something that happened in the past where you were really indecisive. You had a hard time making a decision here. And I think that people who were affected by this, or somebody who was affected by this, is not really appreciating the idea of, why you were taking so long to make that decision. They're not really understanding that. They're just frustrated that it took so long to make this decision. Next up, we're looking at Cancer. Okay, so Cancers, you guys have the Page of Wands showing up here. So Cancers, it looks to me like you may have had somebody that asked you to join in on some kind of project or idea that they had, something that made them feel inspired and enthusiastic, at least for the moment that they were talking to you. And this is you saying, yeah, we can, let's move forward with that, kind of giving the go ahead, that you're on board at least. And we see that they're not really as jazzed up about that as maybe we might have expected them to be. They may have already found somebody else that would help them move forward with this, or they may have moved on to a completely different idea by this time, too. It's going to play out a little differently for all of you. But the basic key here is that we don't see that person being very excited, not near as excited as you thought they would be. Next up, we're looking at Leo. Seven of Wands showing up for Leos. So, Leos, I think you've held your ground on something. This is, setting boundaries and holding on to those boundaries, not letting anybody roll over those. I'm hearing that this has to do with your own self-respect. However, go figure, people around you are not so happy about those boundaries, and they're not appreciating the fact that you have boundaries. That's kind of to be expected, especially if you're not big on boundaries and haven't done them a lot before. People are used to you just bowing down and having no needs for yourself and just looking out for them. And when you suddenly set boundaries that are actually good for your own self, those people feel a little bit left out. Sometimes they even feel unloved. They can very much not get the idea that you might need to do some things for yourself. So we do see a lack of appreciation for the boundaries you're setting. Doesn't mean you shouldn't set them. Just means you should have a heads up that not everybody around you is going to be thrilled about these. Be prepared. All right, next up is Virgo. So Virgos, you guys have the Page of Swords showing up in reverse. Virgos, this just tells me that you're really interested in finding out something about the secrets of the universe. You've got some curiosity. It's kind of leading you down that rabbit hole. For me, secrets of the universe are anything that has power or influence over our universe that we're not taught about in fourth grade in public school. So, ESP, paranormal, anything occult or arcane, psychic stuff, mediumship, um, metaphysical stuff, things like the law of attraction, quantum physics, all that stuff. All that stuff. So you've got some curiosity running around about some of that stuff. You either want to explore it and see if it's the real deal, or else you're looking at, if you've already explored it and you already know it's the real deal, you're looking at how can I apply it more practically in my life. We see you researching that one way or the other, and somebody not so thrilled with that. They would rather you didn't. They would rather you didn't. Now, what I'm hearing is they would rather that specifically you wouldn't spend any money on digging into that type of stuff. All right, let's look at, excuse me, that was who? Virgo? Yep. Okay, let's look at Libra next. Libra. Ace of Cups coming up in reverse. Ace of Cups in reverse. Libra, this is somebody who is showing you their... Oh, this is flipping for you. This is somebody who's showing you their true colors. You're not really liking them. Once you see their true colors, if you had this person on a pedestal before, which you probably did, you're kicking that pedestal out from under them now. You're saying, whoa, look at you. You're like a regular human, just like me. You have flaws too. All right. So the lack of appreciation is coming from you. You're seeing their true colors and you're just not appreciating who they are anymore because they're not who you thought they were. That's kind of a tricky situation because in some cases I feel like who you thought they were is exactly who they told you they were. And in other cases, I feel like you kind of really did have this person on a pedestal and you built them up to be something much bigger than what they tried to even convey themselves as. So if you did that, if you did put them on a pedestal and they didn't help you get them up there, then, it's really not fair to be angry at them for not being who they didn't say they are. However, if they have convinced you that they're this person intentionally, then I can see the frustration level really rising. All right, next up, we're going to look at Scorpio. Okay, Scorpios, 10 of Cups showing up here. This just tells me that we are doing something that we personally find satisfying and happiness making. And we've got somebody in our sphere of influence who just doesn't get it. They don't appreciate that. They wish we would do something else. Isn't that interesting? I don't see it changing anything. Let's look at who's after Scorpio. Sagittarius. Sagittarius. You're up next. Sagittarius. What do we have? Ooh. Okay. We've got that side of the Two of Pentacles. Sagittarius, this tells me that, oh, this is interesting. Huh. You just can't win in this situation, Sagittarius. Because this is telling me that in the not so distant past, you were incredibly busy juggling all kinds of stuff and successfully keeping all the plates in the air just fine. And when you were doing that, there was someone in your sphere of influence who didn't appreciate that at all. They didn't see what you were doing. They didn't see all the energy and the effort that you were putting out. They were blissfully oblivious. Even if you were right in front of them, they managed to still be blissfully oblivious. And now, guess what? Now you've managed to fit a little bit of time into your life. You're not completely running around like a chicken that doesn't have its head anymore. You've got a little breathing time. Now that you have a little breathing time, I think it's the same person or the same group of people. They don't appreciate that. They don't see that it's important for you to have breathing time. They would rather load you up with more stuff again. You might have to set some boundaries here, Sagittarius, just to get things into a manageable perspective, to get a manageable itinerary. All right, next up, let's look at, but wait a second. I know you guys like the adrenaline. Maybe this is just what the doctor ordered for you. I don't know. It would be nice if people would appreciate it though. All right, next we're moving on. Capricorn. Capricorn, you guys have your own card. King of Pentacles showing up here, Capricorns. Boop ba da doo doo doo, ba ba da doo doo. Capricorns, yours is easy peasy. You're in your own mojo. You're making sure that all the bills are paid, all the finances are just exactly the way they need to be. That's kind of your focus right now. Making sure everything is where it needs to be, especially when it comes to financially and tangible needs being met. Shelter, food, finances, transportation, etc. You've got somebody in your sphere of influence who is not appreciating that. Maybe they want a little bit more time with you. Maybe they want to bond with you. Maybe the money is all fine and everything, but they want more. They want to feel like they're a part of your life. What are you going to do with that? That's interesting. What are you going to do with that, Capricorn? Ba-ba-da-da-da-da. Next up is Aquarius. Aquarians, you guys have. Whoops. Almost knocked it off the table. The Eight of Swords in reverse. I like this card in reverse, actually, much better than right side up, tell you the truth. In reverse, it means, Aquarius, that you've been overthinking something, thinking in circles, not finding a place to land and just sit on one perspective. And now you have broken free from that overthinking. Now you're seeing some type of solution that will help you move forward. And someone is not appreciating your solution. Seems to me like this person knows what to do when you're overthinking. They know how to handle that. When you actually have a solution and you're not feeling helpless and you're actually moving forward, they don't know how to handle that. Isn't that fascinating? All right, let's look at Pisces. Boop ba da doo doo doo. Seven of Swords showing up in reverse for Pisces. Pisces, there's some type of situation or a scenario that you've walked away from already, actually. You did it on the down low. You didn't create a bunch of drama. You didn't burn any bridges. You just kind of snuck out the door real quietly. And now what we see, now you're coming back to that situation. It seems to be a more appropriate time for that situation in your life, or you appreciate it more than you did. And so now you're trying to come back into that situation through the side door. Once again, not trying to create a whole lot of drama, not trying to make a big announcement about it. Maybe even hoping that nobody noticed you go out the side door when you left. Don't think that you're going to get that lucky, though. Not with that overall energy. That overall energy says, I don't really appreciate you trying to come back in the side door now. They see you. They see you. You might have some splaining to do, as Ricky would say, as Ricky Ricardo would say. You may have some splaining to do, Pisces, about why you left in the first place and why do you want to come back now? If you already took off in the first place, then they may have a hard time believing that you want to stick around this time. So that's going to be an interesting scenario when that shows up in your life. All right, guys, that's what I've got for the day for everybody. Thank you so much for stopping by and hanging out with me. I do appreciate all of your kind support. Remember, you guys are my sponsors. I don't have to advertise anything crazy on here. So please remember to put a thumbs up on this video, share it around with others, and put comments down below. Thank you guys very much once again for being here. And I'm looking forward, of course, to reading with you later on today or doing Reiki sessions long distance. So just get a hold of me if you need to set that up and we will get you scheduled ASAP. All right, guys. Peace out.